Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 005. Episode 005. A lot of things have happened since my last podcast, and I'm not going to get into everything, but it's certainly trying times for everybody. But I just been really just doing the same thing. Like when I started the podcast, been talking a lot about positivity. Even my first podcast, if you go back and look, I was talking about positivity then. And so that's what I'm going to continue to talk about. I'm not going to change anything up just because of what's happened. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who's been affected by any of this. And, the whole world is in a special spot, but I think it's a really good opportunity for us to rise above it, to really rise above it and know that we are stronger than the pandemic itself. And so that's what I want to talk about. And, I've been going to a lot of different websites. InspireMore.com is one of them. And it's just good, positive stories. I think when you sit and watch the news for an extended amount of time and you're just watching story after story and statistic after statistic, I think that leads to a place that's not positive and you're unable to be optimistic. And optimism is something that I've kind of preached a lot, and I'm going to continue to do so. And I just want to make sure that everyone out there is trying to stay in a positive form in their mind. And it's difficult, I understand, but it's also, what's the alternative? I'm always saying, what's the alternative? Is there something that we can look at that's better? There's so many different stories. I found a story where a woman is using signs in her window to communicate with, her neighbor. Now, she could obviously do this on Facebook or online or any other way on the phone, but it's just being creative. And I think that if you have a business, being creative is going to get you through this, and adapting to what's happening. I just think adapting to what's happening is a better alternative than focusing on everything that's going wrong. If you do that, I just think that just leads to a bad place. And so just trying to focus on the positive things that are happening. And, I thought of the technology thing that could really help maybe some seniors. And that is, what if they brought back full service gas pumps? Imagine that, full service gas pumps for anybody, not just seniors, but especially seniors who are worried about, touching the gas pumps and then, maybe contracting something. And wouldn't it be awesome if you had an app for a particular gas station and you just drove up, there was an attendant that was already out there, they pumped your gas for you, and then they held up, kind of like at Chick-fil-A or whatever, a tablet with a QR code, and you just scanned it with your smartphone and never touched anything. And never even got out of your car. We used to have full service gas stations, and we've gone away from that. But wouldn't that be wonderful if we could go back to that again, at least temporarily, during the quarantine, and not have to even get out of our cars or hand anybody a card or touch really anything except for our phone inside our car? I think that would be a really beneficial thing. As a technology person, I'm always thinking of ways to use technology as a tool, because really that's all it is. And I think a lot of people misplace technology as this and that, but obviously with this thing that's happening, it's really, people are starting to really fundamentally understand how important it is to communicate. And this is really great idea, in my opinion, is to be able to just come up to a full service gas station, have them pump the gas for you. You scan a QR code, which, or whatever way they want to do it, whether it's a particular brand, but there's a variety of different ways that they could achieve this. I just think that that would be a huge benefit, and maybe even bring a lot of awareness to whatever brand. So gas station companies out there, jump on it and see what happens. When you think of gasoline powered cars, I'm always an advocate of electric cars. And, if you had an electric car, if you have an electric car, that's just one less thing you have to worry about. You don't have to go to a gas station. You don't have to touch a gas pump. Obviously they're saying for everyone to stay home, but you still have to go to the grocery store and get certain necessity items. And so when you're doing that, if you had an electric car, you literally just would plug it in when you got home. It would have plenty of charge to get where you needed to go, especially if you're just going to the grocery store. And you wouldn't have to really interact with anybody else or touch anything that anybody else is touching. So literally, in a perfect world, you drive your electric car and have a to-go order at the grocery store and pick it up, wipe it off with, wipes and all of your groceries and everything else, and then really just be safe. And these are just ideas and things that I'm thinking of, and this really wasn't a scripted thing, and I've just been trying to think about positive things and staying focused and positive, and it's difficult. I understand, how everyone must be feeling. It's never happened in our lifetime, and so it's just a challenging time for everybody. And so I've just been kind of like thinking about the things that I could talk about that somebody would actually get value out of. And hopefully you find value in this. If you don't, I'll have to give you your 7 minutes back. Anytime you want it, you just message me and say, hey, Michael, you know what? I had 10 minutes where I listened to you and I need that time back, and I'll freely give it. It's I just think it's time to laugh, and it's time to try and stay positive no matter what. And I think if you can do that, then that's a really good thing. And that's pretty much all I'm got to say. It's all I have right now. Like I said, anybody who wanted to give me some encouraging words, they're certainly welcome to do that. I'm certainly feeding off of anything positive that I can find right now, as you can see by a lot of my Facebook posts. And so just stay safe, everybody out there, friends, and know that there'll be more videos to come, and it'll be a lot more positive and uplifting than this one is. Thanks a lot. And if any of you have any encouraging stories that you'd like to share with me, especially in video format where you're responding to me via a video, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear some stories and share some things with people that I actually know. So hit me up. I'd love to hear about them. Thank you. And remember, if you're not living your best life, what life are you living? Till next time, everyone. Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed today's episode, please remember to subscribe. And remember, if you're not living your best life, what life are you living?